I wanted to make this video today and talk about our real estate marketplace in the Portland metro area and to talk a little bit about negotiating the what I think is the building tension between buyers and sellers right now. You know, in my experience, it's become a little more difficult right now to buy and a little more difficult to sell right now. And the reason is because we have the uncertainties in our marketplace that we do. And what I mean by that is that, first of all, when you look at our supply of housing, the available supply of housing in the Portland metroplex, you know, our inventory stands at about 2.9 months right now, which is, you know, at least a month or two less than it should be in a normal market, which is to say that we have less supply than we should have in a normal, what's called stabilized marketplace. So there's not a lot of homes for sale. There's not as many as you typically would see. Another issue that we have, obviously, as everyone's aware of it, are these higher interest rates. Interest rates are above 7% now for a 30-year fixed. Well, I mean, what that does is obviously that impacts affordability for a lot of folks, you know, especially our first-time home buyers. It makes it much harder to afford a home. But even those folks that need to transition their home because of some circumstance that's handed them in their lives, and the need to move from one home to another, be it a job issue, a family issue, or whatever else. But it makes that transition process a little, you know, certainly more expensive, a little more difficult, because now they've got an issue of, gosh, I've got to try and find that right home, which is not always easy right now in this marketplace. Plus, it's going to be more expensive for me to find a home. So those create certainly some challenges. So the other thing I think that's happening on marketplace is that when you look at the other side of the equation, when you look at sellers are, we've had such wonderful, incredible price appreciation in our marketplace over the last 5 years. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And you can look at your home and the investment that you made in your home, and you, by and large, 99% of us have done extremely well. And you know, everyone would love to see that appreciation just keep going, and I'll keep making more money, and it's wonderful. Well, the fact of the matter is that appreciation is slowing down. The fact of the matter is, because of interest rates and some other factors in our marketplace, we're not seeing the big appreciation we did before. Last year, a lot of folks were talking about maybe we might even see some pullback in prices. And in fact, last year prices were not up that much. Well, I think this year we, in fact, are going to continue to see price appreciation, but it's going to be more in this 3 to 5% kind of range. And so our sellers have to kind of factor that into their pricing and how they're going to, you know, prepare their home for sale and get on the marketplace and, you know, get it sold. So sellers are having to do some adjustment that, gee, I can't make this big bump in price, you know, compared to what it might have been last year. I've got to be more realistic and think about more in this 3 to 5% kind of range. Obviously, the good news is prices in the Portland metro area continue to increase. The good news is they're doing it kind of at a more normal rate, but buyers are going to have to adjust and get their heads around the fact that we're not going to see some pullback in prices. We're going to see them be at the same level it was last year and probably a little bit more. So if they're waiting for some, you know, big change in the marketplace to see prices going to go down, it's not going to happen. Alternatively, sellers have got to be realistic. They've got to be realistic. They're not going to get some big bump in their price compared to what it might have been a year or 2 years ago. Interest rates are obviously impacting this as well, and they're kind of keeping prices in check a little bit. And then obviously the issue of supply, you know, has, you know, continued to impact the market, and that's in fact what's kind of continuing to support the market to appreciate in the price, because there's just not a lot of homes. You know, a lot of you folks have probably gone out and looked for homes, or, you know, had interest that, well, I could look for a house in this area or that area or something, or think about a transition you may want to do. It's not real easy right now because of the limited supply. So what that means is, you know, you've got to work with me to work with us to give us more time to kind of find out what you need in a home. You're going to have to be willing to make some compromises and some adjustments about what you might be looking for, simply to, if you want to be in a certain area where you may not get the size you want or some of the features you want because of the supply. And that's just a fact of our marketplace. Alternatively, sellers, hey, you're not going to get that big bump in price, compared to what it might have been a year or two ago, simply because the market is where it's at right now, and we're only seeing prices going up at a fairly modest level. Good news, obviously, is they're going up, right? So that's something that both factors have to kind of weigh in. And what I'm finding in the marketplace, at least when I'm doing transactions, and that is that what really works is having an experienced agent. Because, the fact of the matter is, I've just been struck by the fact that the last several years of doing transactions, a lot of my transactions have been with agents that have only been in the business a year or two. And there's great agents out there. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, but I'm just saying, in a market we are, where there's as much tension between the buy and the sell side, you would need experience, and you want to get experience. It's going to help you navigate those waters, not only in terms of the documents, but hopefully getting either the best price you can for your home or getting the best deal when you're going on the buy side. So that's my self-serving pitch, but it does make a difference, and I just continue to be surprised about how many less experienced agents there are in the marketplace. Experience makes a difference. So I hope this update on the marketplace has helped. I hope it has helped you kind of get you thinking about or think through some of the issues that we all face in our marketplace and in real estate. And if I can be any help, I'd love to help you. So give me a call, and hope all's well. Thanks.